Therapy, babe. Smash a like on the video, people. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up to everybody. Yeah, Manchester United. Manchester United. It is what it is, people. Manchester United. But we've got a lot of things to talk about today. We've got to talk about Rasmus Hojlund. My guy's banging on scraps, you know, he's banging in goals with scraps. And that's the main topic today, Rasmus. Can we get excited about Rasmus and his future if he was in a team? Imagine he was in the team that played. Imagine he was in a team. Imagine Rasmus Hojlund, Saeed. Big up to Saeed, man. Go and check out 268.
268.
Yes, man. Go and check it out, people. Love and light, everybody. Yeah, Saeed, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I can't complain. Life is good. You know what I'm saying to you? Oh, everything's all blessed. You get me 3 points.
United 3 points, yeah.
Yeah, but United didn't ruin my weekend, you know. So life is good, man. Life is good. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, it is what it is.
So
I'm enjoying life.
Saeed's saying today's a good day because Man United didn't ruin his weekend. That's good.
That's it. But that's what we could become now. You know, it's one of them where I look at United, I'm like, yo, man, at least we're not getting ruined our weekend life. You know what I mean? Like, it's all good, bro. Like, we're all good in that regard.
Big up Khalees in the chat. Big up everybody in the chat.
Yo, big up Khalees, man.
Yeah, big up Khalees, United Real Therapy. Big up to everybody, man. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Listen, Saeed, I want to talk about Rasmus, innit? We did a Straight Jacket podcast and you were like, he could do more. And the question is, imagine he was in a team that was literally actually setting him up. Imagine how many goals he would bang. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I mean, like you said, he gave you that on the Straight Jacket podcast. You said that finish gave you that Robin van Persie vibes.
Yeah.
But I thought he took it clinically, man. And by the way, that's the first Premier League goal where he's been set up by a Manchester United player.
First, I know. The first Premier League goal.
Because Luke Shaw crossed it. It took 2 deflections and then went to Rasmus for that finish.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton. People forget that. It took 2 deflections. Luke Shaw's cross took 2 deflections to take it to the goalkeeper's legs and to Rasmus. So,
but even the one we had now, was it really a pass? Because it was one of them where Casemiro ended up pressing the ball, and then obviously, Hojlund got it, and then he ended up, do what he does, man. But so I don't know, man. It
counts, Saeed. Beggars can't be choosers. It counts because at least nobody else touched it. At least it wasn't a deflection from somebody else. At least it was a United player's foot, and the ball went to him, and he did the rest. But how impressed have you been lately with him? How impressed have you been lately?
Tom. Now you know what? You know me, innit? Like, I've given valid criticism of Hojlund. I've never once come on there and said he's washed. Right. He needs to be sold. I've never said, yo, like, I don't believe in him. I just said, yo, I've had valid criticism, and I thought, you know what? He needs to be better in the box. He needs to get in the box a little bit more. Valid criticism. But now, to be fair to him, he looks more hungrier. He's more better on the ball. His link-up play's gone better. He knows when to make the runs. And what he's doing as well is he's actually believing in himself more. There's not kind of feeling that, he looks a bit kind of hasty. I don't know if you've seen the little flicks that he's doing now, the little link-up plays he's doing now. Like, a lot of his game now has been very, very kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's better all-rounded now than beforehand. And he still is learning. He just turned 21. I just want
to stop that, Saeed. Let me just stop you there. Mohammed, what's Saeed flip-flopping about? He's not
flip-flopping. That was before I spoke about Hojlund, to be fair. I don't think he said it now.
Stop it. And by the way, Elijah, it's no my bad, bro. Flee Palestine all the way. Go ahead, Saeed.
Yeah, so I think his overall game's getting better. I think he's becoming a bit more, he's becoming more determined now. He just looks a little bit more, kind of confident in his own game, man. Confident in his own skin, like. And that's always good to see, man.
How much do you think that first goal against Villa, the first one, that took all the pressure off?
Yeah, bro, massive, man, massive. Because you got to remember, that was the kind of goal that everyone was like, "Yo, like, when is he gonna score goals?" And like. But it's good to finally see that he got that goal, man, because it's a good talent, man. Everybody knows what talent he is, man. He's a proper good talent. You know what I mean? And obviously, we kind of wasted it in that regard. So, we want to see him do well. We want to see him perform. That's what we want to see for our boy, man, Hojlund. So, ultimately, we want Hojlund to do the best, but he's not done it in this United team, and that's the reality situation. But yeah, man, big up to Hojlund, man. I just think for me, he's been under pressure. He's number 9, guys, man. You got to remember, he's a number 9 at United. That burden, Lukaku hasn't been able to do that. There's a lot of strikers that come into the club and they've struggled to kind of do the bare minimum. So the fact that he has done that, fair play to him, man. So yeah, man. Big up to Hojlund. I'm glad for him, man. Even his guy went to see him yesterday, Sean Mills. So yeah, man, it's good, man. I'm happy for him, man. I really, really am, because I was worried at first. I was like, because I watched him at Atalanta last season, and I was like, I don't really know if he's the right person to be leading our front line this season. I'm like, yeah, for the future, 100%, but front line, first guy, I'm not so sure. So yeah, man, big up to Hojlund, though, man. You know what I mean? I really, really big up to him, man. Can't lie to you. Big up to him, man. Tom, what are you saying, man? You good, bro?
How we doing?
Yeah, big up. Good. Yeah, big up, Tom, man. Yeah, Tom, listen, sorry. Got a bit distracted. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Tom, how you doing? Are you back in there? Lovely Sheffield. Are you still international man of mystery? 00 Tom, taking over the world.
Do you know what, right? I'm going to take a trip down memory lane for a lot of people. What do we used to say about the bankers at Manchester United?
He's at Bristol.
Where did he used to come from?
he's at a Bristol University. He's got to visit the bankers.
Want to get me money out, guys?
Big up, Tom. Big up, Tom. Tom, listen, Rasmus Hojlund for me, I always had faith in him. I don't have faith in the rest of the forwards, though, to literally set him up. But I was just so happy because I knew that he had that ability in him to see him score that wonderful goal. And now I feel like a bit more confident. I think the more goal he gets in the league, the more goals he'll get. But my question is, imagine if he was in a team where people literally set him up. How many goals do you think he would score?
Based upon his age, my expectations was I always said just get 10 goals. You're a young kid. I didn't expect him to blow the league alight. I just wanted the bare minimum. 10 goals, couple of assists, decent, in-game play movements, and if you like, moments in games and stuff like Say was said about the link-up play and everything. I like that. The one thing I knew about the kid before we even bought him anyway, when I was watching a couple of games for him at Atalanta, I'll be honest with you, I'm actually mistaked what foot he used. What was his best foot? Because he scored a lot of goals at Atalanta with his right foot. A lot of them were right-footed goals, most of them anyway. But like Saeed was saying, listen, the pressure of having, there's two positions at Manchester United that you are going to be the most criticised players. That's either that's at either end of the pitch, the goalkeeper or the striker. When you concede goals or you're conceding too many, you get straight on the goalkeeper. If you're not scoring goals, number 9 gets it in the fray. And that's how it's always been for years. So at the end of the day, at Manchester United, those two shirts have held so much weight down on players' shoulders, and not a lot of them have lived up to it. Listen, David De Gea, okay. I think he's done okay considering the pressure that he had against him. And I think a lot of people do forget he did win things here. Onana, listen, I'm not going to say it for it. I'm not going to.
He's back. He's back now. He's back.
Sorry, behave for you. Behave.
No. That's what I'm hearing. No, that's what I'm hearing. He's back. He's back now. He's got clean sheets. Third most clean sheets in the league apparently now. Third most clean sheets in the league.
What's he back from Istanbul, mate? From last year when they bottled the final. Is he back?
Yeah.
Is he back?
Yeah. Exactly. Listen, that's what I mean.
At the end of the day, I like it. Say with Hojlund and stuff, and I said he's a development player. I don't want to put major pressure on the guy. And if I'm being completely honest with you, Martial's a shitbag. I'm saying it for what it is. He's a shitbag. This whole nostalgia around fitness and this, that, the other, mate. He didn't want to put the personal yards in his own personal time. That's his own opinion. Me, we brought in a young 20-year-old, and he's done. And I've seen a lot more. How can I say? Potential for the future than I did with Martial. Martial, he come in Had a couple of decent games. That Liverpool game springs in everyone's mind. First game that he was here, ripped the league alight. But ever since Louis van Gaal, I don't really know. It's the inconsistency that does it for me. But the thing with Hojlund, I always said this, and I'm not going to come on here and say, I told you also or whatnot. I said as soon as this kid gets a goal, he knows what it means to score. The kid scored 5 goals in the Champions League, mate. He's not. Listen, Champions League, Premier League, you can see the levels between the two of them. The kid can score goals. He just needs enough chances to score goals. And I've likened him very much to how Nunez has been at Liverpool. He needs a couple of chances. Don't give him one chance and think he's always going to score. Because he's not at that development stage yet. He's a very young player. Keep him grounded. And like I say, the best form that you can give this kid in your current situation that you are right now is you just have to keep playing him. You have nobody else. But I don't, and this is where I'm worried. And as a Manchester United fan, you shouldn't have to worry about this. I'm worried that there's going to be a 6'5" centre half, 200 pounds that's going to go and knee straight in the back of him, break his back, do something, and we've got nobody then. Like when everybody's heart sank yesterday, when Lisandro Martinez went down and he went off the pitch in that stadium, a couple of my friends went to the ground and everything. They said it went as quiet as a fucking library as soon as he went off. Quiet as a library. If that same thing happens to Hojlund, you best believe everybody's going to think the exact same thing. Because you've got nobody. That's what I'm saying. We've got nobody. So in the kid's defence, listen, he's doing well. I'll give him his flowers. He's doing well. I want to see consistency to keep going on and going on and going on. But the one thing that I especially like with the kid anyway is he's building partnerships. He's building bonds. He's building partnerships. We saw at the beginning of the season, him and Rashford, albeit they weren't scoring goals or they weren't necessarily getting the goal contributions, you could see there was something between the two of them. We've seen that for a couple of years with Martial and Rashford. But then it's not consistent enough. Hojlund and Rashford, I can see something there. And especially as well what we saw yesterday in the game with Garnacho and Hojlund, I can see something there. And I think, especially from that Newport game, I think that's the almost jet fuel engine that they've needed to say, we need to start fucking working together. And ever since then, guys, I think they've been brilliant together.
Since he shouted at him at Newport. Since he shouted at Newport. That's
what I mean. But young kids like that side, they need a chuffing kick up the arse. They need a kick up the arse. Listen, I don't want this bullshit about I'm Argentinian, I can't understand you or anything. No, let's keep it consistent. If you're playing shit and you don't want to pass them the ball, what am I supposed to do? I'm the number 9 for Manchester United. I've got the weight on my shoulders as it is anyway. So for me, give the kid a level playing field. Listen, I'm not, and right, even just right here and now, I just want the same thing. Keep it as we are. Just get double digits first season, double digits. Listen, I've never had I'm going to answer this question here. Tom always has an agenda against Martial. Martial was way better than Hojlund. Was at the same age. Martial's first season, 15 goals and assists. Let me tell you one thing, Adewale. When Martial came to Manchester United, he's been here 9 years. 9 years at a football club, I expect 100 Premier League goals. He's not got 100 Premier League goals.
You know what it is with Martial?
Give Hojlund 9 years at this football club. I believe he will have 100 goals.
The only thing I would say with Martial is that every time I felt like he was ready to kick on, I felt like there was a situation where that stunted him a little bit. And
this is what I'm saying, Saeed. I don't think it's him. I don't think it's his talent, and that's why I don't have an agenda against the guy. He was a talented football player, but I think his off-the-field antics or his personal life is almost culminated in what's going on. Like Nuruddin spoke about it numerous times about he's got like 3-4 different wives that he's been married to in his whole life. Like his personal life off the field seems so.
Do you think the club has made good decisions as well, though? Tom, when the club taken,
no.
There's been some decisions where I think for me, when you look at it, the club overplaying him when he was injured or not.
That's what I'm saying. Medically
as well.
They failed him.
I've also think sometimes the Sanchez signing was also a bad signing as well. Where I think in his development, I think that was a time to keep on playing him. They underbarred Sanchez. I think the situation with Ibrahimovic didn't help as well. Again, they're things that I think you should overcome. Don't get me wrong; it's not an excuse.
But I'm saying, up Adewale anyway for the
big up Adewale always, man. But listen, Hojlund, Hojlund's here. Hojlund's the future. So let's just focus on the future, innit? And
no. Listen. I think it's a nuanced conversation, but big up Adewale for this. Was Tom has always had an agenda against Martial. I don't think he has. I genuinely don't believe he has. I think he was excited as anybody about Martial's talent. For me, Martial and Rashford, both of them had amazing potential and talent. Both of them have been ruined by Manchester United.
Yeah.
Because of the instability. And that's what worries me about Kobbie.
Yeah.
If the instability continues, Saeed, I think Kobbie.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would want him to go somewhere else. 100%.
Yeah.
Do I think that Martial could have done something?
We need him though.
You know what? Could Martial have done something about his off-field antics and how that affected his mood and
wrap
how
him in cotton wool, guys. That's what
that's
what I always use. That's my phrase. Wrap the kid in cotton wool. I say that with
cotton wool. Yeah.
But with Hojlund's a different conversation because that's why I say with Martial, and it's not an agenda. It's just facts. We don't have anybody else. If you took Kobbie out of the team, there's another option there. Albeit it's not an option we like in Scott McTominay. But in Hojlund's case, you take Hojlund out of the team, mate, I can already tell you what he's going to do. Garnacho off the left, Rashford through the middle, Anthony on the right. And Rashford does fuck all through the middle. So that's what I'm saying to people.
For me, the biggest thing for me, what stopped Martial from developing at Manchester United was the injuries and how he got ruined. And we know that injury and rehab. Yep. We know this. Ollie ruined him. Ollie ruined him, severely ruined him. Because he said all about this robustness and not understanding modern football, mate, from when he used to play. But Big Adewale says, United fans always show me they don't understand the game football when it was Martial. He was lazy. Now we got a runner. It was no service. Martial ain't off the field. It's the club thing for him over. No, 100%. 100% I understand that. And that's why I always said, honestly, Adewale, that's what I've been saying when people are having a go and going, Hojlund is what I'm like, listen, Manchester United is the striker for Manchester, it's the biggest graveyard ship in the past decade.
Graveyard.
The only guy that actually banged in goals because he had an assist machine, that was Pogba. That was Ibrahimovic. Remember Ibrahimovic? Ibrahimovic is the only last successful striker that scored over 20-odd goals. Other than that season where Greenwood, Rashford and Martial ruined lockdown.
Yeah, they all had a combined like 60 GA or something like that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they all scored goals. So at the end of the day, other than that, I always said it was a lot of things because it's the same thing with Berbatov, Adewale. People are like, oh, his body language.
Imagine Berbatov in this generation now, Nuruddin. Imagine Berbatov now. My God, mate. They would absolutely...
Honestly, Berbatov, because he had the body language, like, he's not extroverted. He's not like a passion merchant, blood and tears merchant. That's what always worked against Martial, because he's quite shy as well. He's quite introverted character. He's not a loud talker guy. He's not. You never saw him in clubs. You saw him in the newspapers.
No.
You know what I mean? That now he's left his missus. He's cheated another one. He's got a new missus. He's had another kid. You saw all of that. But for me, it was the injuries that ruined him. Was the injuries. Because for me, I'm telling you now, for about a good 5-6 years, Tom, when I went to that stadium, the only player that got me off my seat was Martial. Let's be right here. He was the only guy that got me off my seat.
He was the only guy that would take on players as well. Especially that Van Gaal era where the attackers were just terrible.
Yeah, that's why I used to say I was the CEO of Rumbasa. I used to argue about it straight up.
Always. The
videos are there, man. I remember them days.
The videos are there. I was officially the CEO.
I'm the Martial FC.
I was the CEO, mate, the director.
Martial FC, mate. And then there's Nuruddin there after we lose 3-0 to City on the Ollie juice, mate. I remember them days.
Oh, yeah. The Ollie juice. Oh, gosh.
Jesus Christ.
He's still got it now.
He's still got it now.
Listen, pick up Adewale as the players bought in to replace Martial over the years. Zlatan, Lukaku, Sanchez, Cavani, Ronaldo. Martial was never appreciated and used. Tossed aside by United and fans are like, no, 100% I agree with that. But the injuries didn't help. To me, he never liked any challenges. So he didn't go, right, somebody's here to come and challenge me. I'm going to show this manager. I'm going to show it. That's my biggest criticism of Martial, is that he didn't go, okay, you want to take off the shirt from me? When I get in this team, I'm going to show you I'm the guy, right? He should have done that.
Yeah.
But I genuinely do believe that the injuries and the overplaying when he was injured, all that was mismanaged mismanagement of.
I'll tell you what, Nuruddin. I'd love what I'd love with Martial. Right? I'd love him to come out in an interview. It'd probably come out anyway when he leaves Man United or retires or whatever. One question that I'd love to ask him is, what was your preferred position when you were playing? Because we've always had this conversation and debate before around: is he a number 9? Is he a left winger? What is it? We don't know. That's the thing that's always been the issue with Martial, because we brought him in, and predominantly, guys, when I saw that first game against Liverpool, cutting in on the right hand foot, ripping the fucking defender's legs apart from him, and putting the ball in the bottom right hand corner, I thought left winger, mate, left winger, and that sort of movement. But it's almost as if, because we had nobody else in that sort of era, and I know what Adewale was saying before about certain players that we brought in that time and era, Zlatan was predominantly going to be that number 9 in that sort of sphere in era with Mourinho. But the problem was, when Zlatan couldn't play, or then the following year when he wasn't here, we had nobody. So he had to play somebody there. Rashford was still a young kid. Martial was more experienced at the two of them. So Mourinho took a gamble on him. And then after a while, Mourinho wanted to get rid of the guy anyway. And he said, I don't want Martial anymore. But the problem that I'm saying with the whole situation with it is, yeah, we've mismanaged the guy, absolutely. We've run the guy into the ground. He's 28 years old. He should have the world at his feet. At 28 years old as a footballer, mate, you should have every single
28, but I think his body is past 28 now. His body's
but this is what I'm saying, Said, because they've tried to transition to be a number 9. Number 9, right, wingers and number 9s need different body shapes. Number 9, you can have wingers that are physically imposing, but they're quick, they're nippy. And the perfect, comparison that I could use there, you take, for example, Mohamed Salah, in terms of the muscular capacity to have as a winger, so you're not going to get bullied off the ball or clattered into every 5 minutes. You have that, and you have what Garnacho is to say right now. He's not physical enough. I do think there needs to be that bulk up period, but it comes with age, guys, and it comes with playing consistently. You get battered into, and then you need to realise what you need to work on physically. With Martial, we played him as a number 9, and if you're going to be a number 9 in the Premier League, mate, every Tom, Dick or Harry defender, the first thing that they do is put the knee in the back of them. Put the knee in the back of them, get the elbows out, do whatever you have to do, physically impose on them, make their life a living fucking hell. And that's what they did to the guy. And they broke the guy's chuffing figure completely. And now, and this nostalgia, when we say that, Martial's stocky and this, that, the other, that's what it's down to. But I'm not going to sit here and just blame Manchester United completely, because I think the player in this aspect, if the club's not going to do it for you, mate, do something about it yourself. That's the only issue that I'm saying. To me,
he should have left. He should have left.
This is what I'm saying, Rudy. He should have
left long time ago.
Yeah, but a lot of players should have left. So many players.
The money was.
He should have left, and he should have gone and fulfilled his potential elsewhere.
It's on 250k. He would never get that anywhere else, Nuruddin. Nuruddin, you would never get that anywhere else.
Facts. Let me clarify this. So, Jarvis says, I disagree with the notion Ollie ruined him. He came out with his own words and said, I was played when I was injured. And my injuries was not managed properly. Remember, when Ollie left, what did Martial say? He gave an interview. They came up. He had the best years. He had some of the best time. Like all the attacking players had amazing time on the Ollie to a certain extent. But towards the end, they all had the worst time. Right? Let's be right here. The best thing to me, what was that? Was the way, the helter-skelter way Manchester United, Said and Tom, and everybody listening, is hired coaches.
But you know what?
The best time was on the Van Gaal. The best time was on the Van Gaal.
Yeah.
You can see how he was getting coached. Yeah. Both him and
on this manager, the manager liked him. But I don't know what has changed, what has gone wrong.
His body broke down. He kept injured last season. Remember, people forget that. Martial was part of the success last season. But just because he was injured a lot, now it looks like the guy that's totally lost. I don't want any faith in him. But I promise you, the best time for Greenwood, Rashford, and Martial, the best football we played under Ollie was during lockdown.
Yeah. I know.
Right? It was that season under lockdown. They scored 60-something goals between them all. We were firing, we were banging in goals right, left, and centre.
Yeah.
Then after that, everybody dipped. Everybody then was getting all of these different kind of injuries. And I remember, Jarvis, Ollie saying it's about robustness. I'm like, yo, that is different to when you played, pal, in the 90s. The game is gone.
Man
the
said
game has moved
robustness,
up levels in terms of what you can potentially be. You have to look after yourself. You don't just lift a little bit of weight and think, no, you need to have a specific type of training. So for me, he should have left. After Ollie left, he should have gone then. Or he should have gone during Ollie, towards the end, he should have gone, but he didn't go. And Manchester United, Gary Neville come out and said, Jarvis, they were scared to let him go because they thought he might do something madness in another football club. But at the end of the day, I put him responsibility for not seeing the challenges from other strikers and other forwards. He should have been like, no, I'm going to believe in my ability. But the way his injury was mismanaged, Pogba's injury, remember Pogba wasn't getting injuries at Juventus,
Pogba as well.
Pogba was mismanaged in terms of injuries. Martial, Rashford is mismanaged. Remember all the time, Saeed, we'll go to the fucking stadium and Rashford is doing this.
The shoulder.
And Rashford is doing that.
Yeah.
Nah.
The shoulder.
So I'm sorry. Ollie came with his 1950s, robustness. So it's not happening. At the end of the day, it's simple for me. Martial is responsible partly, but the club are responsible. But the biggest thing I'll say this to Jarvis, you hire a coach, specific coach, who gets the best out of your own players, like Van Gaal. Then you get rid of him and bring Mourinho, who hates young players. He hates young players. Salah, De Bruyne, fuck off, guys. I'm not waiting for you guys. You're not ready. Tara, Joe Cole. You know Joe Cole? He coached in spontaneity and a level of skill out of him.
Yep.
Coached it out of him. So at the end of the day, it's up to Manchester United the way they treated young talent. And I'm telling you now, Jarvis, it takes me to my next point here. I'm worried for Kobbie Mainoo. And if I was him, and if that I'd be looking around saying to go to a stable football club, because trust me, they can ruin him as well. And he's a generational talent. Martial had the potential to be a generation. Listen, he had a clause. He had a clause. Everybody in Europe were hyped about him, but we ruined him because the way that we got rid of Van Gaal and then got Jose, who hates young players and hates flary players. He likes guys wingers who work like dogs, who are passion merchants. That's what he likes.
Oh my God, what is going with our club, man? Seriously, guys, man, what is wrong with that? You know what it is, You know what it is? We've just ruined. I think a lot of the players in our talents. There's a cycle, Nuruddin, and it's going to be the same thing with the ones you're watching right now. There's a cycle with these players, and it's not good, man, Nuruddin, that we're seeing these players get ruined by the system.
But go ahead.
Yeah. No, go on. Sorry, go on.
Lazy argument. No, he's not lazy. Was Berbatov lazy? No, you just don't like them because they're not patching merchants. That's the reason why you don't like them. But they don't make them lazy. It don't. Actually, Ten Hag was telling you he's very good at pressing. That's one of the big things he liked about him because Martial could do where block out the passes. Well, you know what I mean? Like cut out the passing lanes. Work on the. Remember the game against Man City when we beat them? He was injured and he came and he played for 45 minutes. And Ten Hag was like, Martial, incredible work, the tactics we worked on. Remember? He was on Diaz and Stones. He stood on those two, remember?
Yep.
And they just kept passing the ball between themselves. So, no, for me, Martial, incredible talent. But parts of it is to blame, he's to blame. But huge part of it is the football club as well. But go ahead, Saeed.
Yeah. No, listen, football club as well. It's a lot of issues, man. There's a lot of issues. We undoubtedly we destroy talent, innit? That's the problem, man. You know what I mean? And that bigger picture there, that's what Ineos have to do. They have to like almost manage footballers as like, you know, what they do with their other sports in terms of profiling them and obviously managing them or whatnot. And they have to find out how we condition these players, the medical department, you know, contracts as well, well-being as well. Nobody talks about the well-being of players as well. Like, you know, the amount of players that have come to our football club and just kind of just rotted away, man. It's crazy, man. So we have to find out that one. The psychologist. Remember, we got the psychologist that was hired at Old Trafford under Ragnick, and then you never really heard about him after. You know, he kind of disappeared. You know what I mean? These guys disappeared, man. Got the sack. He said, "You're not doing your job properly, man."
You got the sack straight away, mate.
Man, you're not doing your job properly, man. So don't come in. You know what I mean? So
Martial and his agent, and that's why I blame the agents. Martial and his agent should have thought, shit, this is a toxic football club. Other than looking at the money.
Yeah,
they should have
for
thought,
real.
After Van Gaal left, they should have been like, Jose don't like our kind of guys. We need to leave.
Yeah.
Like, go figure. Jose does not like young, talented guys who sometimes do what they want on the pitch. Of course, he was never going to like them. He was never going to like them. So for me, that's what it is. But honestly, Kobbie Mainoo, seriously, I genuinely would think that I wouldn't blame him if he went in the next year or two. I genuinely wouldn't. I would wish him all the best because this club is too toxic. Do you agree, Tom, or do you disagree?
What's that, sorry?
Kobbie Mainoo for me. I think before we
what would you advise him? What would you advise him?
Listen, Manchester United have become a graveyard for managers and a graveyard for talent. That's a fact. That is undisputed fact for the past decade. Forget if you don't like Martial. Every other talent, what have we done to them? It's a graveyard.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I would do first and foremost, if I'm advising him, is I would stick to just how you are playing football. Like I heard a couple of reports. It was directly after the Wolves game that they're on about giving him a fucking contract boost between now and the end of the season. They're negotiating it to give him an extension and then extra wages on top of what he's doing. Listen, the kid's not like the kid. I'm not gonna like dampen the kid's sorrows here. He's a very good player. He's played half of the season. If we're being honest, guys, he's not even played half of the season.
Yeah, true.
This is like the second half. He missed, a quarter up to half of the season through injury. That was no fault of his own on the pre-season tour. So he's missed half of the season already. He's had a decent spell of games, let's face facts, and I can see the potential and the talent there. But that, word and that phrase that I always use, wrap the kid in cotton wool. Do it, please. I pray, Eric Ten Hag, I pray. Because there's going to be one day, Eric, where you're going to go into a game that might mean absolutely fuck all. You play the kid, and somebody's going to do a Luke Shaw on him. Like what that happened in Europe. Luke Shaw was a very young, sort of talented left back at that sort of time. They clattered straight into him, mate. And I don't know what it is with the guy. He's never seen the same since. Since that sort of spell, he's never been the same since. Martinez now has had these couple of setbacks and these couple of injuries. When he plays a consistent game of 10 games, and that's when I'm going to judge the guy in terms of
swear to God,
has it affected him or not.
Listen, Tom, I swear to God, the way Luke Shaw was playing on the Van Gaal, I was like, this is what I mean. God. I was like, this guy. I remember, honestly, picking up the ball from the box. He was going from 18 to 18, carrying the ball.
Now you can't do that now.
Out the way.
No, not anymore.
Nuruddin. And you know what's ironic to that exact point that you were saying about Louis van Gaal? Who did he have next to him in the line of defence? Who was competent on the ball? Who was brilliant, who was experienced in that sort of era? He had Daley Blind, didn't he, guys?
Technical ability.
And who do you have right now? You have Lisandro Martinez, who's almost a similar characterised player, but he's aggressive. He's aggressive with or without the ball when he makes passes or he makes decisions. But that's why I'm saying with Kobbie Mainoo, listen, I'll be honest as I'll say, if I'm his father, I would look at the options that's out there on the market. I would not necessarily speak to other clubs, but I'd see who's interested. And then I'd ask Manchester United's hierarchy, because it's under new structure right now. I'd ask Omar, I'd ask all these guys above. I'd say, what's the future for my son in this football club? What's the plan for him? I'd ask, what's the future of the coach going to be like? If it's a stable balance, and they can give him direct answers to say, right, Eric Ten Hag's going to be here at the end of the season, so that's the coach, or he's not going to be here. We're bringing a new guy in. These are his options that we're looking at, and then he can go back to his son and say, listen, I've had conversations with Manchester United. This is what's going to happen. I've had conversations with your football agent and the wider world of the football community. These are your options that are out there currently right now. The one thing that I would love this kid to do, though, and I said it when Jude Bellingham come, you don't chop up a kid like Jude Bellingham in that era when he was about 16, 17 years old. You don't give the kid money. Don't give him money, because money is not what attracts kids like that to play football. And that's why you chose Borussia Dortmund over Manchester United. And if not, Nuruddin, you would have between 18 and 20-year-olds in Kobbie Mainoo and Jude Bellingham in your midfield right now. Two quality midfielders for 10 years. 10 years. That's the Kroos and Modric. That's the Kroos and Modric partnership at Real Madrid fixed. That's us fixed right now.
The reason why
they're not stable enough. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're not.
So for me, if I'm his father, I advise look at the options that's out there, but get both sides of the story, and then sit down with your son. Sit down with
but our
son.
club, you know what it is, though. We're always going to have these conversations because it's so toxic. The club, though.
Yeah, you know what a good club would be for him? Bayern Munich. It's a very stable club.
I think Brighton would be good as well.
To be fair with Musiala, I can see what you're coming from, Rudy. But this is what I'm saying though with the kid. Like, unless you, and this is why I don't want us to just chuck money at him. I'm fed up of us chucking money at young talent and saying, "Listen, stand on the dotted line, 6-7 years. You're signing your career away for 200 grand a week or 150 grand a week. You're signing it away, mate. No, I don't want this nostalgia. And this is the proof that I'm saying to you, Slade, and I'm saying to you, Rudy. If Ineos are going to come in here and they said that they're going to cut the wage bill, I don't want us to get rid of Casemiro just to give 50% of his wages to Kobbie Mainoo in an extension. I don't want that. I want the kid to earn his responsibilities and the wage that he does. And then, when he completes a full season, playing consistently well for a full season, you, as his father, and Kobbie Mainoo, knock on the manager's door and say, you're paying my kid more money, you're paying him what we want him to pay because he's the best player in your team or he's the best midfielder in your team. And if you don't pay us, we're fucking off elsewhere. That's how football clubs run. And that's how fathers run with their sons, mate. Jude Bellingham did it to Manchester United. He said, if you're not guaranteeing...
He knew what was happening.
If you're not guaranteeing my son's going to play consistently, I've got an offer from Germany to go and play for a development club that's developed some of the best young players in the world.
Listen,
but this is what I'm saying, guys. In terms of Kobbie Mainoo, wrap the kid in cotton wool before we fucking lose another one.
Yeah, facts. Big up Windy. Windy says, I don't think Garnacho's going to sign another. Listen, we had a feeder club to La Liga. Let's be right here.
Yeah,
we had a feeder club to La Liga. That's what we are. Of course, he's not going to stay. Are you kidding me? If Real Madrid come in for him, he's off, mate. He's off.
No, I think he would as well. And you know, because the idols sort of like him with Cristiano Ronaldo. That's what I think it would be.
He was actually Atletico Madrid. You know that as a kid.
Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, we got him from Atletico Madrid.
Garnacho, yeah. But you know what it is though? We'll see now. Obviously, now with Ineos coming in, we'll see what their plan is now for young players. Because right now they're selling a lot of these players because they're apparently broke. United are broke, so now the way we can only sell players is by doing this. Right now, what we're doing, this kind of plan of loaning them out and then later on doing this, later on.
Saeed, we're the only football club in world football that would look at a player like Kobbie Mainoo and probably sell him for under £10 million.
Yeah,
but Kobbie Mainoo in this sort of saga right now, I would say is probably worth more than what Cole Palmer was in the summer, based upon the position and the actual influence that he gives on the team. Not Cole Palmer right now, but when you sold them in the summer, they were both academy kids at that sort of time. That's what I'm saying. If Manchester City can get £40 million for Cole Palmer, who I think had made, what was it, Saeed? Steve had told you anyway, like, was it eight appearances? And I think like 3 starts or something like that. He'd made for Manchester City's first team. But they got 40 million for the guy. Kobbie Mainoo, in terms of the talent that we have with the player, it's good, but we need to nurture it. So if Kobbie Mainoo did leave Manchester United, mate, 60-70 million pounds easily, 60-70 million pounds, and you're not having the kid, because at the end of the day, Manchester United, we get bullied in the market when we buy players. So fucking bite back at people. We've got no backbone. We have got no backbone as a club, mate. If clubs are going to come to you and rip you, and when you go to them and you're going to rip you off for their talent,
because we were run by Bristol University bankers.
This is what I'm saying to you. Listen, I'm in the local surroundings, mate. I know these folk round here, mate. I know what they're like in terms of the university. But if we're basing it off of the people that ran our football club before, and they ruined young talent, as we've all just agreed upon, say with Martial and Rashford, because they didn't get the right departments in place. That's the improvements that I expect Ineos to come in and do differently. But this is and it's funny, guys. As soon as it's all this shit around fucking Jim was in the presser and and he was twerking for all the reporters and blah blah blah, mate. One game doesn't change my opinion on anybody. One game and a couple of meetings behind closed doors, and then the advisors from Must aren't prepared to tell the Manchester United fan base wider fan base, what his plans are, I don't trust the fucking guy. I don't trust him, mate. Come out on an interview, BBC, do whatever, Sky Sports, I don't care. Go on Gary Neville's fucking overlap, free of charge, and do an interview, an hour, and say what you're going to do with our football club, Jim. And from there, like I say, in 18 months' time, I'll buy the Glazer family out. Do you know what? A lot of people might get on board with that if they're gone. But there's no time frame. And this is what I'm saying with young kids like Kobbie Mainoo, it's about time. They've got time on their side, but they want to know what the future is at this club. And right now, nobody can tell him what that is. And as his father, these are the questions that you have to ask. And if you don't get the answers, mate, right, you're not giving me the answers, I'm taking my son elsewhere because he's more talented than your football club will ever be. That's what. And this is what fathers are like, guys, in football. I'm just speaking fact. Jude Bellingham's father was exactly the same. He said, "No, you're going to be bigger than Manchester United in a couple of years, Jude. Let's go somewhere else, mate. Go to Dortmund, develop yourself, develop your playing style, bulk up a bit, and then suddenly it went from the scrawny kid in Birmingham, mate, to the fucking juggernaut sort of tanking midfielder, number 5 for Real Madrid in 5 years. 5-year time frame there between them, and that's what I'm saying that we need to do with Kobbie Mainoo. Yeah, otherwise, you're going to lose the kid.
One second, Tom. I just want to say CR7. Listen, Garnacho's not naturally. He is to be scoring goals for Manchester United.
You know what it is? Garnacho's just working, man. It's not finished article, man. Too many people putting this expectation on Garnacho. He shouldn't be playing every game. But one thing about Garnacho, though, he doesn't let the first half affect him, man. That's what I like. I like his temperament in terms of. He's always willing to keep on going. His attitude is spot on, man. That's why I always give him the benefit of doubt. People always say, "Oh, why do you always give like Garnacho this and that?" I like the fact that he's always willing to do it, like running behind, work
he's a
hard.
warrior.
He's a warrior, man.
That's a character, Saeed. This is the one thing that everybody for years
he wants the ball all the time. He wants the ball all the time.
Exactly, they don't shy away from wanting the ball or anything.
Garnacho scoring goals to keep Manchester United like. They're little bit, their head above water. So I'm sorry, like whatever talent you think, just because you don't do tricks and flicks like Ronaldo did, he's direct, mate, and that's what we need at this moment in time. Would you rather have him or Anthony? Give me Garnacho any fucking day.
Listen,
here, man. You want Anthony to do your little spins for you? Whoa!
I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that debate again, mate. I spent like 20 minutes on the stream earlier other day with Sean.
Anthony.
And then Bumbayer comes out with a comment, and I just say, so listen, a fidget spinner can spin around on a fucking ball for you if you want. I don't expect that from footballers. But let me ask you a question anyway, Saeed, about Anthony, and then we'll go on to another topic. When you buy a winger, and I'm not just talking about Anthony in this case, any winger in world football, when you pay over £80 million for him, do you expect him to be able to use both feet?
Yes.
Yes. And that's what I'm talking about bad recruitment and bad analysis. Okay. And that's what I was discussing the other day, because we was discussing around the value of what we brought him in for, and actually what is going to change, say, in 18 months' time. He's been here 18 months. We've not really seen much different from what we saw when he first came.
Nothing.
So what's going to change? What's going to change everyone's opinion suddenly? Is he going to be direct? Is he going to have a right foot? Listen, there's been good players that have had no right foot at all in their career. Ian Robin. There's a couple more that I could probably list off the top of my head. But he's not that sort of player. That's the problem that I'm saying. So what do you think, Saeed, in terms of value? Would you pay £80 million for just a left-footed player?
No, I want. That's what I'm saying. Now football's changed. I need to see both now, and you can get it for less. Look at Pedro Neto now. Left foot, right foot. You know what I mean? Like he's so. You know what I mean? Like this is the situation now where Man United right now is such a. It's going to be a very, very big summer, man. Who do you let go? Who do you keep? You know what I mean? You're gonna have to make some losses. You're gonna have to make sure people are not happy. You have to make some tough decisions, guys, man. Like, that's the reality situation. Are United going to do that? I'm not sure they are. Have you
heard this new one? Listen, big up. Have you heard this new one? Chelsea, big up.
Big up, Claims. Big up.
Chief Editor, United Real Therapy. So Chelsea fear sacking Pochettino would put them in danger of breaching Premier League spending rules as a huge potential payout revealed.
Oh, gosh.
Hold tight, Lewis. Lewis, we've been there, bro. We've been there. It's a hard place to be.
Been there, done that. Been there, done that, mate.
We got the T-shirt.
Got the T-shirt.
Let's CR7. You might not rate him as highly as you rated Ronaldo, but for me, he's good enough now. And he's only 19. He's 18 to burst in the scene, to doing what he's doing for the directness, getting goals in the Premier League. Not many 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds are doing that, my friend. Trust me.
Yeah.
But listen, it is mad the way I think about Manchester United. And my last topic is this, is that I don't know whether to be hopeful. I don't look forward to watching United. Is it just me, Saeed, or is it you, Tom, as well?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's one of them where I don't feel nervous anymore watching United anymore. Like, there's no kind of nerves for me going into the games now. You know what I mean? There's and that hunger, that desire. Like, listen, obviously, I'm not saying that I hate my United, but I've not got that feeling where, you know, when you get that expectation, you know, when you get that
emotional
kind of
connection.
Of, you know, the emotional connection. Yeah. It's not there as much anymore because I feel like this season we're now champion in top 4. We don't really know where we're going in that regards. You know what I mean? The India situation is still unclear. You know, it's one of them where, like, you know, we should be fighting for meaningful trophies and that. We should be in competitions far, far away. Like FA Cup, you know, I think it's one of them where everybody thinks we're going to go and win it, but really and truly, we're saying it. You know, like, no, man, that's wrong. So a couple of people are like, we can win the FA Cup, we can win the FA Cup. We can win the FA Cup. Yeah. It's crazy.
Newport, Bristol City, and a couple of other shit
yeah,
draws,
man.
You get to
Bristol
the quarterfinals. Listen, we should have gone out last year. Let's face facts, guys.
City on in it. Liverpool.
Fulham threw it away for themselves last season, mate, and that helped us progress. We got through on a penalty shootout against Brighton last year to get to the final, and then they shut it when they come up against the proper football team, Manchester City. Liverpool's still in it. You know, City's still in the mix together. Those two teams, one of those two will win it. And if I'm being completely honest with you, with the scenario that Liverpool are in right now, where they're in a title race, they've got a couple of trophies, they might sacrifice one or the other, but they'll either win the Europa League or they'll win the FA Cup. Either or of them. And they're still going to go for the Premier League. But this is what I'm saying in terms of when you guys were saying it around, you know, future, and when you said about with Ineos as well, Saeed, in terms of what they're going to bring to the table, especially when they're going to try and get rid of players. I don't want any of this nostalgia attached to players. I don't want Dave Brailsford sat up in the crowd thinking it's about high performance. It's about, you know, energy. It's about this, that, the other. Listen, if the guy's all about energy and everything, Scott McTominay would be his fucking favourite player, mate. He'll be his favourite player because that's all the guy's got: energy, burst surrounding sprints, and fucking five-yard passes. Can't do anything else. But that will be Dave's favourite player. But this is what I'm saying. We need a clear out. Complete reshuffle of the pack.
Massive clear out. Massive.
And that's when I said, and people laughed at me when I said about 3 or 4 months ago, people laughed at me when I said I would love to have what Chelsea had. A complete reshuffle. Turn the fucking club upside down. Get rid of 10 players in one window and sign maybe 5 or 6 every other couple of windows. So
not the way they did it, Tom. Not the way they did it. Not the way they did it.
Not the way they did it. No.
The way they bought.
The way they bought
is mad. I don't care what.
Not in terms of the structure of it, but I'm saying in the time scale. In the time scale, Nuruddin. When people said it can't be, when people used to tell me that it can't be done, Chelsea proved that it can be done. But it's about managing the money. Manage the money properly.
But that Bowley guy is like Woodward on steroids. Anyway, Saeed, I know you got to go. You got to prepare for your
big up, man.
Watch along, big up. Go and check out Saeed doing a watch along. Brentford, come on, Tony.
Appreciate it, man.
Go on, Tony.
Yeah, Tony. Listen, let's see what you can do, man. But I don't expect much. But City, man, we need to, because we've got a big issue now. We've got Liverpool and City go for the title, man. And it's, that's what I'm saying. So people call us negative, guys.
Be honest. Would you rather have Arsenal
win it? Of course.
100%.
People think we're negative, but then we've got to realize what we're dealing with every year, man. But then you can't be negative.
How are we negative? How can you call it? To me, you know what the toxic positivity sexuals have targeted me. Every tweet I tweet now. Yeah, man.
Positivity sexuals.
Yeah. That's what toxic positivity sexuals are all over me. They're in love with me. I'm telling you, they're literally stalking me. I swear to God, I'm being stalked. But big up, Saeed. Go and check him out.
Big up, man. Love, man. Love.
Big up, love.
Big up, man. Big up, man.
Peace. But Tom, I'm not gonna lie to you. Big up Jarvis as well in the chat. Make sure you check him out at 9 o'clock tonight. Jarvis Corner. 9 o'clock tonight. Man UFC Realist TV. Just a point deduction wouldn't mean much for Chelsea with no Europa or relegation battle. I bet they'll risk it if they want to sack Poch after all. Todd Bowley is full of bloated cowboy, 100%. He's Woodward on steroids, mate. Tom, I agree with you. The way the business they did in Saudi Arabia, like bringing some of the money back.
That's what I'm saying.
We're too afraid. And Tom, I'll leave this topic for the end, but Bruno Fernandes, me 70 million from a Saudi Arabia. I'll take it all day. I swear to you, I'll take it like that. I'll buy your hand off.
This is what I'm saying to you. You can
manage
it.
Anthony for 60 million. Bruno for 70 million. I'll buy your hand off. Take them now.
No, I would, yeah. I'm in the exact same. But when West Ham even picked up offers to buy 2 of our players in a joint deal, I thought, what the fuck are we doing here, mate? What are we doing? You get rid of Maguire, you get rid of McTominay, mate. There's like £300,000 worth of wages for both of them together. I know McTominay's on a lot less money than Maguire is, but you get rid of the pair of them, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. You can buy a new centre half and you can buy a new midfielder. I say reasonably, if you have good recruitment, with the 65, 70 million pounds that we were going to get for the pair of them, it can be done. I've seen it at other football clubs. It can be done, but you have to buy well, and that's why when I said about the Chelsea thing, I wouldn't do what they've done necessarily in terms of the amount of money that they spent per player. But what I would do is I would set out almost a structure and say, right, we've got connections in the Middle East, we've got connections in Europe or whatever. We're going to sell 4 players. I want to sell 4 players this window, and I want to recoup in £150 million from those 4 players. Who can we do that with? Who are attainable assets that we can sell for big money? And first and foremost, like you said, Nuruddin, in that sort of budget sculpture, if you get £70 million for Bruno Fernandes, mate, you're halfway there. You're halfway there to your goal of, I want £150 million brought into this club. That's the first phase of play. Liverpool were the best example that I can say. Felipe Coutinho was never worth £142 million. Never in a million years was he worth £142 million. Not on his own. No, I'm sorry. No. They took the absolute piss out of Barcelona in the circumstance that they was in. They pulled the pants down. No Vaseline. They took out the bank checks for it. They said, we're going to get Virgil van Dijk. We can't get him in the summer. We'll wait to get him in January. Right, Jurgen, who else do you want? You want Alisson? Right, Alisson. Fix the nostalgia, fix the logistics, everything, the data analysis of the player, fit perfectly with what Jurgen Klopp wanted to build at Liverpool. And the money that they used, £142 million, Nuruddin, buys 2 world-class quality players. 2. You give Manchester United £142 million, Nuruddin. Tell me how they would manage it. Tell me how they would manage it. £10 million in dividends to each member of the Glazer family. So there's 60 million fucking gone. And then overall, when we have to pay the debt off, you have to pay the interest payments off on the debt. You've also got to then buy new players as well. Mate, you'll have made a loss, even though you've got money coming in. This is what I'm saying about our football club. It's when people look at the spreadsheets, mate, the spreadsheets that they put out when they do the financial turnover and figures every year, they lie to you guys. They lie to you, and now they want to put the prices up all of a sudden for fucking tickets. And people are sitting here telling me
that in the cost of living crisis.
Cost of living crisis, mate.
And did you see them?
Jimmy's here, mate. I've told you about Jimmy. Jimmy is penny pinching already, mate. The prices have gone up, mate. They can't even afford to come and watch us now. They didn't come yesterday. Cost of living crisis, mate. So they can't even afford their own prices.
Listen, when I saw that, I was like, wow, in the most cost of living crisis. And they're patronising the fans with the same statement.
But they can sell them, Nuruddin. They can sell tourist
times.
It's tourist
Hard
packages.
times, man.
Tourist packages. Tourists will pay whatever it takes to come from America, Asia, India, wherever. They'll come from all over and they'll pay the stupid money. Even look, us people like us, mate. Listen, I can afford to pay the money that they would want for a ticket. Do I want to pay it? No, I don't want to. I don't want to even come and watch Man United anymore. Like you were saying before when you asked Said the question, mate. What's the sort of feeling when the United game's coming up? Are you excited for it? No, I'm not. No, because I don't know what I'm going to get. Listen, you can get what we had the last 2 games against Wolves and against West Ham, where there's a decent half of football in either of the games, and then the other half shit. But you don't pay the amount of money that a lot of Manchester United fans do, week in, week out, or on season tickets, as Saeed will tell you anyway. You don't pay that sort of money, mate, to see one good half of football every single game. I'm sorry, you don't. You want to get your money's worth. I want a good 70, 80 minutes of football, minimum every single week. Maximum 90 minutes. 90 minutes flat out. Because I don't want to see this nostalgia around player performance. And like I said before, listen, Dodgy Dave, Dodgy Dave's about high performance, mate. So high performance, I want to see proactive players come into this football club. I want to see players who are dynamic, who can get to the ball within 5 yards. Know the triggering lanes, know the passing lanes, Nuruddin. Intelligence. That's what we lack in this team for years. Intelligent players. But when we have them, Nuruddin, and the last point that I'll make anyway, we had one brilliant, intelligent player at our football club. His name was Juan Mata. He was a central midfielder. He was an attacking midfielder at Chelsea. He'd won so many big trophies with Chelsea. Do you know what we played him at Man United? Right fucking wing. Right wing. And people are sitting here telling me that Manchester United know what they're doing when they buy assets and they buy players. They can't even give Mason Mount a position right now. You don't know where the guy's going to play. This is what I'm saying about our football club. We just buy players for the sake of it. They're on the market. You could have got Mason Mount not even played any of this season. You are closer to the end of the season than when you first started, and he's hardly played any games for you consistently. But you could have got the guy for free in the summer. But this is what I'm talking about with our football club, and this is why as Manchester United fans, we're all passionate about it. But when people sit out there and say to me about Manchester United make all this money and everything, the spreadsheets lie to you, because Manchester United, when they get money in, they don't know what to do with it in terms of reinvesting into the club. They don't know what's best for this football club.
No, they use it to pay down
never
debt.
Care.
We have to pay down the debts.
They pay down the debts, but it's still
the same. In 6, so we took $1 billion out in down payment. $1 billion out. Big up Jarvis. Yeah, big up Louis, man. Louis G, big up. Big up to everybody. Exactly, fans don't deserve to get.
Nuruddin. Bring up Craig Warbur's comment that he's put up about tourists have a bigger average spend. This is perfect here. Tourists have a bigger average spend. Megastore, etc. don't steal from the regular attendees to matches. Facts. You go to Nuruddin's a match-going fan, for example, right? Local lad in Manchester goes and gets transport, bikes it to OT or whatever, mate. Nuruddin goes in the stadium. All he does is watch a game of football. He doesn't buy a pie. He doesn't buy a bottle of pop. Go to the Megastore. He's never been to the Megastore in years, mate. But you get Alec from, fucking India or somebody, comes over on a private plane, on a plane or whatever, commercial plane, couple of £1,000 to watch Manchester United play.
But I don't blame them, to be fair, Tom, because it's a lifetime. It's a lifetime.
It's a life experience. But the money that you pay, Nuruddin, which might be, let's say, £100 for a game, for example, might be £100 for a game, they can charge that fan £200 because they're coming from 2,000 miles away. 2,000 miles away, and you're coming from where, Nuruddin? What, barely 20 miles?
No, no, not even that.
Not even that. There you go.
10 minutes. 10 minutes on the bike.
10 minutes. There you go, then. What, half
a mile and a half?
I live
a mile and a half away.
There you go. And this is what I'm saying to people. So when they use the spreadsheets to lie to you, and then now all of a sudden when the price tickets go up, this is what we've been saying for years about this club, people. And we're not here to. And listen, it's not about talking down to people. I always say this in the same way. We talk to people, and we try to get the bare bones of it. But when people want to jump on the bandwagon of Ineos, mate, and they want to ride the wave as if it's, you're on a fucking surfing expedition, the wave will crush down on you. And as soon as them price ticket announcements were put out there, Nuruddin, everybody's starting to question, where is it coming from? Why in the current climate? Why? And then people want to sit here and tell me about the football that you watch week in, week out. It's not worth the money. It isn't. It's not, and it's not sustainable. We've said this before. That's our most used phrase on this channel. It is not sustainable. And when it comes crashing and burning down, people then want to come here and say that we're negative. We're not negative. We're realists, guys. And when we look at our football club, mate, we have been a dulgin in disguise for years. We're a sleeping giant, but it's almost we're a sleeping giant on fucking sleeping pills, and we can never wake up. This is our issue. It's delay. We'll get a striker next year. We'll buy another midfielder next year. And then all of a sudden, those players that you wanted, they're gone. We had the discussion last night about Kim Min-jae. Would have been perfect replacement if Martinez is injured right now. Coming to this team, mate. But instead of having Kim Min-jae there or Tadibo or whoever, mate, we've got fucking Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire, Victor Linden, fucking, well, this is what I'm saying to people.
Even Salford didn't give Johnny Evans a contract, but Manchester United did. But listen, I just want to summarize what we started talking about today. I wanted to give him his flowers. This young man here, Rasmus Hojlund. We kept faith in him. I told you all to keep faith in him.
He's come good, yeah.
Listen, what the biggest thing? What I want you to think about is imagine he had a team that teed him up, that gave him service. How many goals would he score then? Like all of these goals, except for one in the Premier League, and the one that was it was like a tackle tackle by Casemiro. It was not even a proper setup. It was a tackle by Casemiro. One goal. The assist came from all the other assists came from deflections from other opposing players onto him for him to get these goals. So for me, Rasmus, happy birthday to Rasmus for yesterday.
Yeah, big up.
Thank you for scoring an iconic and wonderful goal at the was it the East? Yeah, he was looking towards the East stand. Yeah. Brilliant goal, brilliant finish yesterday. So I'm happy for him and may it continue. But imagine he was in a stable club where you had attackers who supported him and teed him up. How many more goals would he score?
We knew the kid could score, Nuruddin, though. We knew the kid could score. We saw in the Champions League big pressure moments in Galatasaray, in Copenhagen, Bayern Munich, in the Allianz. We knew the kid could score in big moments. We've never doubted that about the guy. But we always said this to ourselves. In the Premier League, we're not as consistent because the opposition you face doesn't suit how this kid wants to play, which is in behind, have that bit of space to run into. We don't play like that. And then the other angle of it is he wants to be a physical player. And we always said this when he wasn't scoring goals. Let's see if you remember the phrase, Nuruddin. What did you used to call Hojlund when he wasn't scoring goals?
It was a wrestler. Yeah,
he was a WWE wrestler. There you go.
But why? Because they would hoof the ball to him and go, fight, Rasmus, fight.
That's it. And this is exactly what we're saying. When Nuruddin's gone anyway, but this is exactly what we're saying, people. Anyway, so when we're talking about it in terms of Hojlund himself as a player, listen, stats are one thing, but everybody likes it in terms of what we saw. And the first, what was it, like 20 minutes against Arsenal, Nuruddin, when he had that brilliant cameo, mate, we knew that we had a decent player. And because, do you know what? We've been starved. We've been starved of a young player who can do that. We've had 32-year-olds doing it.
Listen, Louis just said, here, look, we don't have a sustainable way of getting the ball forward. That's what, and we other than hoof the ball to him and go, fight. Breaking news, what's this? Man City have agreed a deal to sign Savio, currently on loan at Girona. Okay. That can happen, yeah. Of course, Man City, well ahead of the curve.
Well, Girona's under the City Football Group, aren't they? So.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I think we've talked enough. I've still got a bloody illness. I need to take care of my throat. I need to go and take care of and have some painkillers and have some soup. So big up, love and light, people. Take care. Please smash a like on the video. Those of you watching, would you take the money for Bruno, apparently 70 million? Would you take the money for Anthony? Saudi Arabian teams are apparently sniffing around them. I would bite their hands off. Also, Rasmus, imagine how many goals. Let me know, those of you watch later. How many goals would Rasmus score if he was in a stable team that had a way of playing and got the ball to him? How many goals if he's got the service? Imagine he was at Liverpool. How many goals would Rasmus score if he was at Liverpool? That's the question.
He'd be doing a
Man City or Liverpool.
Doing a dance better than Darwin Núñez, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, man. Big up, Khalees, Chief of the United Real Therapy. Thank you for always bringing some different edge to the show, bro. Really appreciate you and always appreciate Tom. Make sure you go and check out Tom Journalist 1 on Twitter, and make sure you go and check out Saeed TV across all social media, and specifically check him out tonight for the watch along. And make sure you check out Jarvis at 9 o'clock, Man UFC Realist TV, Jarvis Corner. You go and check him out on there, Jarvis. And Bowley, BOLE77. Make sure you follow him. Love and like to you, all of you. Have we got 100 likes yet? Have we got 100 likes? Please tell me we got 100 likes. Somebody please tell me we got 100 likes at least. But yeah, I'm just happy that Rasmus is now getting a bit of recognition, but the graveyard shift continues. Graveyard shift. We'll be back on Thursday, I think, with a match preview for Friday. We'll be back for the match preview for Villa game, which for me is a season-defining game. Season-defining game for me, that game is. So we'll do all the build up to that on Thursday or Friday. But look after yourselves. Love and light. Peace. Take care. Tom, enjoy the rest of your time in Bristol. Stay away from the bankers, fella. Yeah, no whiskey for me, but yeah, the lemon. I don't want to get pissed, but love and light. Thank you so much. I'm going to get on the hot toddy, innit? That's what Matthias, hot toddy. That's what I call a hot toddy. Now I'm going to go and get non-alcoholic hot toddy, but take care, guys. Love. I'm going to have some sleep. Peace. Love, light. Peace. Take care. And big up to everybody. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Stop the genocide. End the apartheid. End the occupation. Free Palestine. Stop this child slavery in the Congo. Stop the killing and the massacring in Sudan and in the Tigray region, in Ethiopia as well, and anywhere else where people are oppressed. Big up, love and light. F the politicians. F Piers Morgan, little sino-fascist. And fuck Rishi Sunak. Peace, love, light, always. Win, lose, draw. Bankers out. Glazers out. Jim the Rat, you're a sellout. Get out. Peace. Twerkers, toxic positivity sexuals, come at me, you little stalkers, all day, every day. I'm here for you. Take care, people. Peace, love, and light. Nice one, Tom. Appreciate you.